I want to go to Myrtle Beach with a team so bad I can't see straight.
I took a team to Myrtle Beach when I
Can't see straight.
first started coaching from USA. And they were like U10, U11, somewhere around there.
Ooh, that's a
Pretty decent team. And they're full of fun, great parents.
right.
We've done Lexington tournament at that point. We had done like the Elizabethtown tournament. And I said, let's go somewhere.
Yeah.
And so me and the team manager were talking. I said, let's go to Myrtle Beach. He kind of laughed.
I love it.
I've had at least 4 or 5 parents say, oh, wow, are we sure we're going to do Myrtle Beach? And I said, look, it's the end of spring.
Yeah. Wow.
It's going to be, I don't know if it was spring break. I really don't remember.
And now it's fall break.
You can just make a vacation of it.
Yeah.
And so everybody finally agreed. We got everybody squared away at hotels, and I got some people nervous, and we're like, do you know where we're playing? I'm like, just get to Myrtle Beach.
Like, we're playing soccer at the beach.
Do you know what I remember the most?
Probably we're playing soccer in the sand.
Yes! So obviously we all stayed in the same hotel, which is right on the beach. And I think it was the Saturday night that we were there. The whole team and all the parents were out on the beach. And the boys and I just started playing soccer on the beach.
Yeah.
And we had the best time.
Yeah, absolutely.
We played till we couldn't see the ball anymore.
Yeah.
And then we got back, and everybody's like, oh my God, we got to do that again. I'm like, you're welcome. See, if you were going to like a beach tournament, I want you to
So bad. Yeah. No. I want to do it so bad. I think, clearly the issue is financial and whatever, but the memories, the memories that you're talking about, the memories.
That's still left in my brain.
I watching the teams like the time of their lives. Think about like, even when we go to E-Town for us or Saturday or whatever. Like, no one really remembers this fucker.
No. It's just like,
All they remember is the hotel, the pool. I love you about that. That's what they remember.
you're right about some losses. In high school, I don't remember any of the games I played except for my last game. But I remember the team get-togethers.
Yeah.
I remember like the summer workouts where we had like a bunch of idiots.
Yeah.
Just random hangouts, stuff on the bus.
Yeah.
Almost getting a fight with a at
That's the podcast logo.
we don't remember the games because the outcomes don't matter. It's the relationship that we built with our friends.
1,000%. 1,000%. And that's what it's all about, right? I mean,
Right.
and listen, no one loves winning more than I do.
Oh man, gotta win.
No one loves winning more than I do. But when I'm on the sideline and my girls are like, hey, your ace isn't there, or like, hey, we gotta pick it up, or here's my new favorite thing. So I don't know how many listeners know about my coaching background, but I coach a middle school team, and then I coach 2 club teams. Both are middle school age. But I put out a big post and it got a lot of love, and so thank you. But the watching my girls, and when I say my girls, I mean like, the girls that play for me, seeing the other girls like who play on a different middle school team and things like that, like
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
cheer for each other,
Yeah.
and like, and it's not like go coddle. It is go regularly.
Yeah.
Like, come on and go. Like, it makes my heart so happy that, like, I cry. I cry a lot. Literally, I cry a lot these days. But watching how School stuff. Again,
Those are the moments
Yeah.
they are going to remember.
1,000%.
Do you remember that game in middle school we cheered on Burnley, who was on the other
Yeah,
team?
the other team.
Yeah, it was hilarious. You know, that's what they're going to
Yeah.
talk about.
Remember when Ali scored that goal against us? But it was so awesome because that's what it's about. And again, we got way off course because you were talking about Myrtle Beach and but I think the ultimate goal here is that soccer is fun. And soccer should be fun and soccer is competitive, but it's all about Ace, and it's all about your attitude, commitment, and your effort. And if you are doing all those things, you're gonna make so many memories that are podcast worthy.
Well, let me tell you the story about
Yes, absolutely.
the confrontation. We'll call it a confrontation.
This is where we were, and then I got way off track. My bad.
So I'm in high school at this time, and I'm probably a sophomore.
So a long time ago.
Long time ago. Probably 1993.
No way, are you that old?
Oh, yeah, I believe it, baby. You graduated in 95.
Okay.
Okay, so I played for Turpin High School in Cincinnati,
He is that older than us.
and we traveled to, I'm pretty sure it was Northwest High School, which is about 45-minute hour drive on the bus. Anyway, JV plays first like everybody else.
And this is when you had to take the bus. Like there was no everybody's riding the bus. Like
I think it was just part, and you just rode the bus. I didn't know that there was any discussion about it at that time.
Yeah,
Everybody rode the bus.
So man, yeah. Everybody's riding the bus. There is no now it but
Oh, there's no sign out either.
yeah. I don't think about them.
Not even a thing when I say.
So you're on
Yeah, that's interest in that. So JV played, which at that time I was playing on the JV team, and we played, and I'm pretty sure we won. So naturally after the game, the varsity's playing their game, and the JV guys are just hanging out on the sideline.
right.
And so we weren't up in the bleachers. We're up against the fence right outside the concession stand. And so for whatever reason, I had to go to the bus and get something, and I'm on my way back. A guy that went to Northwest was walking around, and I walked right behind him and made weird gestures walking behind him. And so I didn't realize a friend of his off to the bleachers saw me doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And so I stopped with my friends, and he walked on, and I see them pointing at me. I'm like, I'm crazy. So they didn't do anything during the game.
Uh-huh.
However, we're on the varsity game ends, and we're on our way back to the bus. And everyone's leaving the stadium, the game's over, so we're getting on the bus. I'm on the bus. The whole JV team is on the bus at this moment. My JV coach is not with us at this time. But we know the game's over, get on the bus, we're going home. And so there's students from the home school walking by our bus, and I think some of them are making comments, and of course guys on our bus made comments back.
Right.
And so now we've got students surrounding our bus,
Okay.
and I've got players on my bus moving back to the students,
Yeah.
and the bus driver's just like, oh crap, what is happening here? Because I've got students on 3 sides of the bus right now, and they're still pouring out, and it's not getting any better. And so a friend of mine who is also a sophomore, he starts getting into a mouthy confrontation with a guy outside the bus on the ground. I don't know what the argument was about, just a bunch of nonsense. All of a sudden I hear my buddy calls, you ever Aunt Jemima? I'm like, well, that guy didn't like that. So he walks over and tries to get on the bus. So at this time, I look over and my JV coach is standing there staring at the bus in shock because he's seen what's happening. It's not just the students, it's everybody out there. He's like, oh crap, now I'm in this.
Yeah.
And so this student, he's banging on the door, letting on the bus. You know, he's saying things that I can't repeat on the camera. And so we're all like, oh, what are we going to do now? If the whole student section comes on the bus, well, this is the
Right, yeah, absolutely.
So my coach comes around and said, hey, dude, get out of here. He's like, no. So he finally leaves. He comes on the bus. My coach says, you're all dead tomorrow.
Mm.
And that's all he needed to say. It was to dead silence.
Yeah.
Everybody sat on the bus. The varsity team gets on the bus. The varsity coach gets on the bus, and he's like, JV, you're mine tomorrow.
You're dead, yeah.
And so we probably did more sprints in my life on that next day than we ever have ever. I think a few of us puked.
Which, okay. So this is such an interesting topic now. Now we're swinging to a topic conversation.
Yeah.
Like, for you and I to have a coach come on the bus and be like, y'all are dead tomorrow. We're gonna run until you puke. Like, for you and I, that's not a big deal.
The parents were probably, my parents were like, oh yeah, you probably deserve it.
But, like, you're old. So, so,
Thanks for pointing that out one more time.
so you're old, but like, so, if,
But this is back when parents,
right, but hang on a second, it's just backtrack.
this is back when parents taught respect.
Mhm.
And if their kid was disrespectful in any way, they gave coach full authority to do whatever he wanted.
Agreed.
And that's what went down.
And that's what it should go down. But let's cycle back to where we are now.
As far as parents today,
If that conversation were to happen today,
it would be split.
the coach would be under scrutiny on Monday morning.
So, and I agree. There would be a team agreement on that. I think you would have a split. Some parents like, yeah, punish the freaking team. That was ridiculous. And some parents, well, my kid wasn't involved in that. Why is he getting punished?
Right.
And so, and that's what we're dealing with today, of such different views of teaching respect
Yeah.
and how to, I don't want to say punish, but discipline that type of aspect.
Yeah. Well, and I think this is such a fun, random conversation because as a teacher and then as a parent, like we see it so maybe not so differently because you and I are the same on a lot of things.
Oh, sure.
But as a teacher, my thoughts are, who are the first three people these kids look at? Their parents,
Right.
their teacher, and then their coach.
Yeah.
And so, if the three of us aren't on the same page, or the three of us are doing something different, then who knows what's gonna happen. But I think where we are with, at least in Madison County where we are, I think it's going in the right direction. I think people are understanding that, I'm a coach.
Do you really see that as a teacher? I mean, and let me tell you this. One of the reasons that I got out of coaching high school in 2018
Was because of the parents?
and that's no joke.
No.
I mean, when I first started there, the parents were amazing. I mean, I spoke to a majority of them. Some of them just stayed out of my hair. Like the last 4 years, there was an obvious change in how parents handled I guess, protecting their kids or raising their kids. It was a clear difference in how we communicated between coach and parent.
For me, and I told you this off air, I literally left Central because of the parents. Like,
And I think it's pretty common.
That's why I left the high school ring. I said Central, but why I left the high school ranks was because of the parents.
Yeah.
And I was done dealing with it. And it wasn't so much that they weren't awful. Like they weren't.
Well, it wasn't all of them.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah.
But it was the year 1 or 2. Awful. No, shouldn't say awful. It was your 1 or 2 disgruntled parents.
To the loudest. The loudest that you hear.
Absolutely. And again, and you know this, and I know this as coach. Should I have had thicker skin? Maybe. Should I have dealt with it? Probably. But
you're on a thin line as a coach because you enjoy your job.
Yeah.
Coaching the kids.
I love the kid.
It turns into dealing with a parent that wants things done their way.
When the girls that when I walked away, the girls that I walked away from, like they still message me and like, hey, we're graduating and can you be there and all those. So like, it's hard because you feel like those sophomores, you're like, oh, I walked away from them, but despite but they don't see it that way. They're like, hey, you coached me my freshman year.
Yeah.
And so that's what I've learned from this process is that, sure, I walked away, for some of those girls in their junior year, sophomore year, whatever. Like, I walked away. But for most of those girls, and I'm sure you feel the same way for the girls that you left when when they were juniors or sophomores or whatever.
Right.
It's not so much about they know. They're like, oh no, he didn't walk away from us. He walked away from coaching, or he walked away from the parents. But I do think that's important to say and to put on and to put out there. Like, a lot of times coaches aren't walking away from the athlete.
Oh, absolutely.
They're they're walking away from.
Well, I mean,
mamas and daddies.
The big thing these days is your mental health. Like, I'd say pretty much all high school coaches don't need the job as head high school soccer coach.
Right.
They have a teaching job. I have my full-time job. I have jobs that support my family. So why, just like an official, why do I need to put up with some parent losing their mind over something that's so minimal to their kid's life? I mean, I'm not trying to say it's minimal, but it's in their life.
But it's minimal.
A decimal point in their life.
100%.
And you're close to me because they didn't get enough playing time. They didn't get to play in their position.
Right.
Or they didn't play at all in a certain game. And I get there's frustrations in there. But if they didn't play 30 minutes in a game, is that ruining their life?
Are you asking me or are you asking the parents?
I'm asking you. No, you and I both know this. They're going to be perfectly fine.
Well, and this is where the other side of this conversation comes in. Like, I have cut girls, I have cut girls who have been like, hey, you can't help us anymore, so
Right.
go do something else, right? And they still are. They still like the Instagram post I make, and they still message me, and they're like, hey, happy birthday to Chris, or whatever it is. So I just think it's so important that we all understand, like, those are some rough moments. Like if I cut you, it is hard and it's rough. But it's hard and it's rough for me too.
It's one of the worst things a coach
Yeah.
needs to do.
It's the worst day.
It is.
It's the worst day. And so I think
And we're not trying to be mean about it. And there's no need to be nice about it.
Right.
It's just a typical conversation,
right.
no matter when.
how can I be nice
Yeah.
and tell you you're not on my team anymore?
There's no good way to do it.
Right. And so I love this conversation, but I love this conversation because it's so important. Like, I can't tell you with my 2011s how many girls I cut,
Mm-hmm.
but who are now playing for me.
Oh, right.
Right? Because they went and they focused and they got better, and then they came back out the next year, and then they made the team. Like, I think I have three. Yeah,
I mean, that's something you need to write up about them. Like,
no, I don't. Three more. Yeah.
No, they did.
Yeah.
I thought her 2 years ago. Great kid, great work ethic, just didn't have the talent at that point in time.
To play,
2 years later, she's grown up, she's stronger, faster, and her ball skills are amazing. What did she do in those 2 years?
No, I think that is a great point, and I will ask her that.
And she deserves a lot of credit.
Yeah,
And I'm sure there's other people involved in that, but that's something that it was hard. Yeah.
and it's not as
So I mean, Coach Hamilton, what a jerk cutting my kid. No, that parent's like, you know what? We're not going to cry about it. We're not going to complain about it. We're not going to complain about it. We're just going to get better. If you have to go to soccer, get better at it. Let's go fight for it again sometime.
Couldn't agree more. Could not agree more. And she's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
And I can't.
But-
Let's say, I can't wait.
And I bet she has a great attitude.
Right?
Like, she was incredible. And then she realizes
That.
the value of what's happening.
Yeah, you gotta be better. You have to be good. You have to be better. Couldn't agree more.
You know, for me, from coaching in high school, one of the favorite things that I have is running into former players after they've grown up.
Love it.
So I started coaching high school, I think it was in '09.
He's old.
And I just realized a couple years ago, all the players in my first year are now in their 30s. They're in their early 30s, okay?
Super old.
And so I run into a few here and there. I run into an old former player of mine this past week where, for my work, I flew down to Dallas,
Yeah.
and my boss's boss, I coached his son. And so his son is now working for the same company I work for. And so we got together and we're talking about stuff, and he's telling me about all the fun things we did at practices, and he said, Coach, the best thing we ever did that made me realize how much I love
Here
soccer
we go.
was we played Boondish. So anybody that has ever played for me,
We can do a whole episode.
Oh my God.
Dish.
so we play this thing I call Boondish. It's just soccer, but there are no rules, but there are rules. Okay. So you got three rules again.
There are no rules.
There's no punching, and there's no deep pantsing of somebody else. Other than that, if you want to tackle somebody, you want to push them, You want to pull them down to the ground, it is fair game. And the kids loved it.
Right? No.
And I've done that for years. I did it with that U10 team. I did it with my high school team. And they take it dead serious.
It makes me super nervous.
And so he's telling me about all this stuff. And he's like, Coach, I was terrified of you. I'm like, no, you weren't. He's like, yeah, man, you're intimidating. I'm like, stop it. He said, Coach, I was 10. And you were dead serious about what you were doing. I'm like, I was dead serious. He says, I had the best time.
Yeah.
He said, you know, we were doing boom dish. He said, one day you had us do body carries. He said, you know, I learned so much. I had the best time. I'm like, that's what it's all about, man.
Yeah. It is.
That's what it's all about.
1,000%. That's what
I mean, you and I love winning games. And life is about winning. But it's more about those relationships that we're building over time.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. 1,000%.
So I've run into a few of my former players, and some have on like social media here and there. It's just so cool seeing them being successful in life,
Right?
and knowing that you had a part in them being awesome.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, a lot of your kids are still kind of young. I think a lot of your high school kids are really still just now getting out of college, I guess.
Correct.
It's just so fun to see them be what we always wanted them to be, just responsible, logical adults who are just doing their thing.
And they bank it off of what they learned from us, right? Like,
Yeah, we had a part in that.
hey, we, we did moodish and we tackle people and we, all those kind of things. But we also learned how to be a good teammate.
Yeah, right.
We also learned how to, I don't know.
How to deal with failure.
Yeah, how to deal with failure.
How
And,
to deal with some success. How to be humble.
yeah, absolutely. And
How to celebrate a goal.
oh,
Which is something that we never teach kids how to celebrate after they scored a goal.
I mean,
That still cracks me up.
yeah, I still do it. All right, everybody listening, everyone listening, if you score, at least cartwheel, because
Smile.
because scoring
One person.
scoring in soccer is hard. So at least cartwheel or something, barrel roll or whatever, whatever you want to. But you should score, and you should smile and have a good time. Look, Coach, I know this was very random because you and I were hanging out, and
Sometimes we talk so much off camera.
yeah, I think it was fun.
And so many times we wish we were like, why didn't we just record that?
Yeah. So we press record tonight, and I don't know if anyone will ever hear this broadcast because we may decide that we don't want to release it. But I think it's good stuff, and I think the overall theme is play. Just play soccer and
Win,
yeah,
build relationships, have fun.
yeah, absolutely. I couldn't have said it better, Coach. I guess this is the Ace Football Academy. Go kick some ace. Oh wait, you're still
Probably
there.
the worst ending